what does it take to join the IDF? Like if you're a foreign national and you want in, do you just need a passport and a drive, or do I need like a percentage of Jewish heritage, blood, so to speak, Jew blood? To put it plainly, do I need, how much Jew blood do I need to like be able to join up with the IDF?
They're like, Mr. Myers, we can't let you in. You can't show up with the blood and vials.
My friend Harley hooked me up.
Yeah, he gave me a big bag of Jew blood.
Harley's so woozy.
He's so tired. He's so sleepy.
For the homeland. Because I know if Harley were to like get on a plane and land in Tel Aviv, they'd be like, all right, soldier, ho, extra large helmet, huh? Like they just throw him right in there, because they're mustering right now hundreds of thousands of foot troops.
I think everybody knows military service in Israel is mandatory, which means that all these like 25-year-olds are veterans and kind of ready to get right back in the game.
I'm hearing what I'm hearing is that like the last like the current class, if you will, or maybe for the current generation of IDF was complacent and ill-trained, and maybe they didn't have their eye on the ball or weren't motivated because I guess nothing horrible has happened for a while. But you know, I've been watching a bunch of CNN. What's going to be crazy?
They're all better than us, though. They are ex-military and knows how to. I lumped you in there. You can operate a rifle better than
I don't know. I don't know anything about being in the military though. I don't know. Like you'd say some military shit, and you'd be like this,
fake
and
it
I'd
till
be
you
like, I'd be like, well, you want to go? You want to go? He's like, oh, you're gonna kill me, huh? Oh, let's fucking go. Let's take this shit off.
Yeah,
it's only American. I came here to fight with you, brother. Oh, we're gonna have some pop. He's trying to tell me like down and be quiet and cut it out and shit. And I don't know his army man hand signals because I'm a fucking guy that shot watermelons on YouTube. So, but what I would say is that if they have 300,000 or 400,000 man army that they're mustering, that would seemingly be because they're gonna maybe form a perimeter, make sure we're secure, get the borders guarded, but then invade an area that's the size of New Jersey and is half the population's 18 or below, right? One of the most densely populated areas on the planet. They've been dropping whole neighborhoods for a week now. I mean, just man, that is some shoddy construction work. It's almost like they made it out of mud brick because no one lets them have building supplies, but who knows? But that they've been dropping whole blocks of neighborhoods. But so I think they're going to invade. I think they're going to go in with like boots on the ground, door to door, like we did in Fallujah.
When Russia was threatening to invade Kiev, I saw this Ukrainian soldier being like, "Come, I dare you." There'll be a rifle pointed out of every window. Every civilian is an information source on your location. It is not safe here. Bring it. And I don't know. I was just like, holy shit. And by the way, that all sounds true. I mean, not every window, but there will be snipers. There will be all Russians are just going to get picked off in Kiev, and we'll guerrilla warfare on it. So, Kyiv. Anyway, so they're going into Gaza, and my knee-jerk reaction, my first thought was like, dude, Israel's just way OP in this, right? They're going to smash these guys, and they have combined arms and the whole nine. But then it's like, it's hard to beat a motivated bunch of guerrilla warfare guys.
It is, but if they're like doing like huge carpet bombing raids, and like I don't think Gaza even controls their own water supply.
Oh, let me speak on that because
if I want to invade your house and I control your food and your water, there could not be an easier invasion. Like, so I just wait till you're destroyed.
Kyle needs
so in general, the citizens of Gaza have like an amount of water each that they have every day. It's below, like, there's some health organizations, like a human being, the exact amount of like 4 liters of water a day for X, Y, and Z. They get like 2 or something. Funny math, but you get my point. And so they have these big black rain barrels on the roof of every building. If you look, you'll see them. Big barrels. They're full of water because they're storing up water because they don't have enough on tap daily. Of course, the other people do. In any case, they to be fair though, they didn't build any water infrastructure for themselves, and you know the Israelis have all the water. Luck of the draw. Luck of the draw. The Israelis have all the water. And look, they're not selling the water. Okay, they're giving it away. So
I would
sure
say they're Jewish.
No, I'm not sure. I'm making that up. I'm not sure. They're not selling the water when they got all the water. That'd be awful. And the Israelis are good. You remember that there's a speech at the end of Julius Caesar where I think it's Mark Antony. He's up there and he keeps saying an awful thing that Brutus and Gaius has done. And look how they rent noble Caesar's body here. Look at the wound there where Cassius's blade stabbed, and where Brutus's like wound fell. And he's like showing, but these are noble men. Who can deny that these are noble men? He keeps going back to that. That's his fucking chorus for the fucking song of deception he's singing. It's beautiful. It's one of my favorite things. I don't know Shakespeare, but I know that speech. I love it. I relish it I play it all the time.
Is it in Rome, the TV show?
So they don't do the speech itself, but what you get, and I actually like this, is they have common folk in a bar describing having heard the speech. They're like, fucking Brutus go up there, and he's all blah, 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 economy, numbers, money, this and that. And Mark Antony got up there. Everybody likes Mark, He's at first, he was saying how what they'd done was good. And then I started thinking maybe it wasn't. And it's his slow-witted brain. Like he's explaining how he was duped by the slickest guy in Rome because Shakespeare's writing him to just completely win the crowd over and turn a crowd that was there to be like, yeah, down with the dictatorship, to one that was like, get those motherfuckers that fucked up Caesar. At the very end, the crowd is incensed. They're roiling. They're ready to get somebody and burn a fucking house and get their wives too. And he's like, wait, noble friends, you have forgotten the will of Caesar that you would bid me read. Give me a moment. Let me read what Caesar has left unto you. To each and every man 100 dinar. And everybody's, Caesar's so generous. And he has left unto every Roman man to walk in his orchards and his parks and his gardens of leisure. For all time they are given to the Roman people. Oh, mighty Caesar. Oh, and then it's just, he's got him boiling by the end of it. I love that fucking scene. Cool. Charlton Heston's like one of the best actors ever.
I think where Kyle was headed, I think Israel turned off the water, food, and electricity a couple days ago.
Yeah. Well, you don't last long with no water, food, electricity.
Without water, 3 days. Right? So,
yeah.
I know Kyle's.
Well, they're not out of water. They're just out of water pressure. What's interesting is you can see as they run out of fuel for their generators, because at first it was like, yeah, it's Gaza, that dimly lit place over there. And it's like, that's Gaza, that place. Yeah, you see a window there, and that's where the hospital is. You can tell because they have generators. And now it's like, yeah, it's that dark, murky land in the distance. And I'm just imagining, like, now that they've got the whole city or the whole place, I don't know what to call it,
region,
fucking blacked out. Now they can send in those fucking scary ass tier 1 ghost warriors that see fucking your body heat and shoot suppressed machine gun bullets in the night with robo dogs and shit. But I wish that I could watch a movie about what's happening right now with special forces in Gaza.
We just glossed over it. They shut off their food, water, and electricity. The hospitals, they're dark now. All those babies on intubators, they just died. They're done. Everyone who needed electricity to survive in that hospital is dead now. It's unfathomable to me that, like, what, a hospital with no power? No. They have like backups, and then the backups have backups. They're out of power. All those people are going to die. And by the way, imagine the hospitals are quite busy right now.
The ones that are standing.
So, and no water. Like, no water. Now, Kyle said no water pressure. I don't know how to differentiate.
I was just kind of joking about their horrible situation. More of her saying that they've got like those tanks of water. So like they've got
for now
water.
They're probably rationing.
Oh yeah, I mean they're going to run out of water to drink and food to eat, and
like this
they won't have any. Some people are out of water this second. and have been out of water for a couple days, I'm sure. And then there's some guy who's
start
going
fighting each other, perhaps.
I'm sure there'll be people who like never run out of water. They're like, yeah, I have so much. But
that guy might get shot by his friend.
I saw him using phosphorus last night.
Israel did.
Yeah, lots of.
Isn't that against the war rules?
Whose rules are you speaking of?
Yeah,
exactly.
Even America sent cluster bombs to Ukraine, and I was for that, by the way. But those rules apparently seem pretty.
We didn't agree to that. So the cluster bomb thing, there's like 3 countries that didn't sign on, and it's like us, Russia, and Korea or something. Oh, that's the mine one. But there's a bunch of them that are like that. They're like, yeah, no, we're not going to take our force multiplying thing that we developed that cost that over the last few decades that kills the shit out of you. We're going to keep using it. Phosphorus. You'll see if you watch the footage, you'll see little bits of white burning stuff falling down seemingly slowly. But if it touches you,
like the 4th of July.
Yeah, if it touches you, it just burns you horrifically, and it starts lots of fires too. I'm surprised lots of Gaza isn't burning already if they're using that. I saw them use it out there. You've probably seen that, like.
Can I say something?
That place where the boats are, the lagoony area.
Mm-hmm.
I saw them hit that with that stuff.
I just linked together. Maybe you guys are. I bet everyone listening to this is faster than me, but I'm like, oh, actually, white phosphorus burning down on the buildings is a rough combo with no water. Like those two things work together.
Oh no, yes. Water makes white phosphorus worse. Actually, sand is going to help them here.
So I agree with what you're saying.
We have what we need,
but we have the rest of the building to concern ourselves with too, and the building, burning the building next to it. And water's, I think, part of the solution.
Primary building material seems to be mud brick.
It does,
I don't think that they control their own construction
building
material.
Supplies.
Like everything has to go through Israel, right?
Oh. I would imagine so. Yes.
I think so. Everything else does. The people do.
Yeah, I would imagine if water does, I would imagine
it's an open air prison. That's what Gaza is. So let's just apply those rules. I think they use mackerel as money.
They might be using Max because they clearly don't have access to anything that
they can't have cigarettes.
Israel doesn't allow them to have.
Well, you know what he says. Fuck around and find out.
I'm really struggling with that and my own hypocrisy, right? Because I'm like all about this Ukraine. I'm obviously we should go in there and help. And then it happens in Israel, and I'm like, neither side has a halo in this. And I don't know if I'm
Jews
right
believe
to
in
say
angels?
that.
I'm pretty sure that's anti-Semitic language you just used.
That's wildly anti-Semitic.
In my defense, it comes purely out of ignorance.
I don't know. It just, the whole thing's awful.
It is.
I don't blame anyone for I don't blame the Israelis for what they're doing, because it's like you got to be so mad and just want blood. Like if that happened here, look. Now I will say this: my hands are a little bit cleaner than the Israelis are, I would imagine. But if that happened here, you could imagine the hatred. I know Woody remembers the motivation around 9/11. Like you were mad at whoever did this. Like we got to get that Osama bin Laden guy for sure. We should torture that guy. It's like we should get him. I don't care about the rules. Get him.
About fighting Osama bin Laden if that scenario would ever happen. I used to consider.
All right, Osama.
Yeah, right. We send upon you, Woody, rip and tear until it is done.
I didn't hear no bell.
But he's 6'6". He's long and lanky.
I don't know.
He comes at you like warfare. Lincoln, right? He's got some long
underhanded he would come at you like Lincoln. He was like 6'5", wasn't he?
Yeah, tall and lanky.
I honestly
he's wearing those robes, so he's hard to get a beat on where the
32-year-old Woody kicks his ass. He does. I'm gonna fuck him up, I swear to God.
Yeah, well now he's living safely in Argentina.
But yeah, what I'm saying is man, that just made you bloodthirsty, and I get that's part of being a human, is being a bloodthirsty. Oh yeah, motherfucker. Well, let me show you what we can do. You don't even know what we're going to do when we find you after what you did to us. That's in our blood. You can feel it when you in a movie, when you watch an internet video and some poor old man is just trying to go through his day and some piece of shit's beating him, and then fucking Karate Master comes out of nowhere to kick that guy in the side of the head. You don't care that he fell poorly and his head hit the sidewalk. You're like, yeah, that's what fucking happens. You get brain damage for picking on old men. You get that's part of us. It's like, smash his skull, smash his skull. Like we're all ready to do that.
It's one of my core principles. You're allowed to win. You are allowed to be bigger and stronger than your opponent. That's within the rules. I every once in a while in hockey, I see some guy get called
Taylor
for
knows
a legal check because he's big. Yeah, right. I get some guy called for a check in hockey, and I'm like, no, he's allowed to hit him. He's just big and strong. Don't call a penalty for that.
Yeah.
Back to Israel. They attacked Israel, right? I think the math proportionally works out to be like 7, 9/11 simultaneously on one day. Imagine if that happened to us. And
9,473.
Like the amount of people they have dead compared to their population. etc. So anyway, now Israel's hitting them back, and I'm like, yeah, you fuck around, find out that's okay. Israel can. You did enough that Israel's justified a disproportionate response, in my opinion. But it makes it trickier for me when I consider that, like, they've turned
a lot of them
Gaza
are kids, and they are in an open air prison, and
they're in an open air prison.
Run.
Their grievances were really legit. They just handled it in the wrong way. I wish instead of devoting that money to like 5,000 simultaneous missiles and paramotors and whatever, they just got attorneys. I bet it'd be more effective.
Attorneys against Israel?
If you think the Iron Dome is good, when you see our Lord.
Do you know how badly Israel would bamboozle the fuck out of Palestinian attorneys?
You thought we were tough on the battlefield. Welcome to court.
They'd have like jokes. They'd be like, "Who is Jewish? All of us say."
Okay.
I'm sorry, is this your first
influencers. Palestine, they just
Judge Yarmulke, how do you find?
Judge Yarmulke, how do you find? I don't think they're going to win any legal battles with Israel. I imagine Israel has a crack team of attorneys.
Maybe you're right.
Yeah, I mean, look. All I know is when I watch, I'm like, oh, it does get to that point after a while. It's like, you got them,
right?
You got them. They're crawling away. They're like, yes, we know. Now it will be easy to hit them. It's like, well, hang on, you hit him. Now he can't crawl anymore. This is my favorite.
They're just warming up. They're only warming up. Like they may have accomplished disproportional response already.
I think they already got them.
100%.
I'm gonna be honest. They already got them. And everything that happens like now, it just really seems like it's like when that dad gets the pedophile, right?
Mm-hmm.
He goes all the way. So they're going all the way, and I don't think anybody can stop them, and I don't think anybody is. I hope they don't strike Iran too much. I know they blew up some
or at all.
Oh, interesting.
I know they blew up some landing strips in in Syria, maybe in Damascus, and then somewhere else because drones were being launched out of Lebanon and Syria at them from the north and I guess northeast. Geography is definitely not my strong suit, but yeah, if they go in there like Fallujah style, it's gonna really kick off because then what you get is an insurgency because people from around the world are like, oh my God, are you telling me that Israel's going in on foot in Gaza? Man, that's what I do. He like shows you his medals. He's like Syria 2017 champion or whatever. Like that's how you get an insurgency is when you're like, hey, we're the people you hate. We're on the ground. Don't come in here though. We wouldn't like that. We're dealing with your friends and relatives and countrymen and religion and the people who worship the same God as you. We're going to kill them. Don't sneak in here through tunnels through Egypt and Lebanon and Syria. But that's exactly what will happen. They need to get in there and get out. If they get in some protracted thing that's months and months like Ukraine is doing, it's going to be nasty.
Is it possible to end Gaza? Just
take it. Like they want to
kill them all.
Like they absolutely.
I don't know what you do. Kill them all. Give them an opportunity to run.
How many of them are there?
There's a couple million.
1 and 2 million is. I've heard 1 million and 2 million. So what do I? That's a big difference. I get it, but there you go.
I think that's a lot of people. A lot of.
Do you just
kids
kill 100,000 of them and then give the other 900,000 an opportunity to leave and not come back?
Why don't they give them an opportunity now?
Oh, I thought
who can swim?
You got to kill. You got to kill. 10%.
Head that way. America. Look, America's that way.
That's a long swim. Yeah,
you're goddamn right,
Taylor. Maybe it's a good idea to get. Actually, I think they're letting them out now, or are they just warning them? I forget.
They ain't letting nobody out.
I don't think they're letting anybody out, but I don't know.
But
I do know that they're warning them
bucket.
before they bomb their building. I think we talked about this on PKN. They either
Sometimes.
call or they send. So there's a.
They yell.
They said they're going to kill the hostages. No, I should have finished my sentence. They send a shell or a rocket with no explosion. So now all you have is the equivalent of like a tree hitting your house, but you've been warned. The next one's going to go boom.
Yeah.
That's what they're
That's
doing.
how you. Well, it is going on. You can tell because you get this footage where the Palestinians or Hamas or whomever is in the area will film the destruction of the building because they're going to hit this building in 30 minutes. Get the camera set up. So they'll have a GoPro in the street on a tripod. And the video will say that description is that in case you're wondering how we have why the camera is set up, because everybody's a conspiracy theorist, it's because the Israelis let them know that this is where they're going to drop their bomb. So we set up our camera here to film them drop the bomb. So it's, but they're not always giving them those warnings. Like I guarantee they dropped. Zach, I wish you'd find the number for exactly how many bombs they've dropped so far. It's thousands of bombs, thousands of buildings. It's got to be so many people. It's got to be It's got to be 10,000 people they've killed at least, right? And I wouldn't be surprised if they.
It's very densely packed.
Will they stop at 50, 100? Like I don't know what they're going to do. They're going hard over there, and seemingly no one in that country
6,000. What
6,000 bombs.
Oh, he didn't say 6,000 what? Yeah. I took it as deaths, but it's
just that every night when I check CNN, they're like, they say that they did like 300 strike missions, or they launched, and it's just these huge numbers. And then when I watch the impacts, like I said, they're dropping big buildings and 14-story apartment buildings seemingly, and blowing up mosques, and they are going about as hard as they've ever gone. But if they go in there and land, that'll be a shit show. That'll be something I don't know that we've seen. I mean, Fallujah
they don't
was
really
that.
Need to. Like they have such control over the situation.
They want to go in there and get their people, and they want to go in there and like get their hands dirty too. Frankly, I think they want to go in there and like get them.
Benjamin Netanyahu. I'm close on that. Maybe not perfect. Is kind of hardcore about fighting. That's his thing. Yeah. And he's being sued. He was like about to go to prison or something. Like he was doing poorly. He's not popular, etc. And now they're rallying around the flag, and they're glad they have a hawk in there. So
yeah, it's a right-wing government. I know that, a particularly right-wing government. And then I saw a picture of him, I think from the 70s, maybe 71 or something, of him in his military fatigues holding a gun, like a fit, good-looking guy. Yeah, they're in their 9/11 post 9/11 American flag on every car mode, and they didn't really have a good George Bush at the rubble moment. They missed that part of the saga, but I feel like they're going to follow through with an Afghanistan imminently.
They might.
Well, we'll see.